Hundreds of people could soon be out of a job in our region. The company contracted to clean up an old uranium plant in southern Ohio says it has to let people go because of a lack of funding.
It's the Portsmouth gaseous diffusion plant in Piketon. The uranium site was built back during the Cold War era, back in the 1950s, and stopped operations in 2001. Now, what these workers are doing, they're doing a decontamination job on the leftover chemicals and radioactive areas and tearing down all the buildings. News Channel 3's Caitlin LeBeau joins us now. And Caitlin, as funding for that project starts to go down, unfortunately, the number of employees who have gainful employment there, make a good living, they're going to start to lose their jobs too.
Right, Tim. This was a really attractive job for hundreds of people who were looking for work. They moved to the tri-state from all around the country to work on this cleanup project, and it's a lengthy process that requires millions of dollars in federal funding, and there are about to be several setbacks which could in turn put hundreds of people out of a job.
I just made this big move up here, totally transitioned my family, my career choices. I chose this.
Karen Bargel just moved to Ohio this summer for a new job, a job she's already at risk of losing.
You don't know. It's just the fear of the unknown. You know, will you have to pack up and move, or will you be able to stay?
She's one of 1,400 people working on a cleanup project at the old uranium plant in Piketon. But Wednesday, they all received notices that they could be laid off in the coming months.
We're all looking at losing our jobs.
Jeff Wagner is the spokesman for Fluor BWXT, the company contracted by the U.S. Department of Energy to do the cleanup. While everyone had to receive a notice, he says, the actual number of layoffs will likely be between 300 and 500. Cutbacks they have to make, he says, because of a lack of federal funding.
We're looking right now that a potentially $81 million less in funding than what we had this year. Our funding is going to be at that level that we are going to see some job loss and some kind of impact.
Not only impacting jobs, but with a smaller workforce, it will extend the project that will already take decades to complete, putting off any kind of redevelopment of the site and causing safety concerns as the buildings get older.
It's going to take another 20 years to clean something up. You don't want it caving in and killing people. I mean, I hate to be that, blunt, but that's what we face.
Problems she says she can only help fix if she still has a job.
Now, before the layoffs happen, there will be a voluntary separation, so that's for anyone who wants to leave the company. And on top of those 1,400 people who received the notices, there are 400 additional workers on the project who are subcontracted, so about 70 of those workers could lose their jobs as well. So, Tim, that totals about 570 people who could possibly be out of a job by October.
Yeah, and the unions representing a majority of the workers, Caitlin, at the site are planning a town hall meeting for September 9th where they can talk about the pending layoffs and talk about future options. One of those options is organizing a trip to take the community's concerns over to Washington.